Sweet Talk is a weekly 20-minute podcast brought to you by the Continuing Education Workforce Training Division of Idaho State University's College of Technology. This podcast is part of our continuing outreach efforts, and the format is conversation. We're having conversations with businesses, professionals, entrepreneurs, community agencies, and in all cases, difference makers. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud. So subscribe today. Take 20 minutes and hear from people living in your community who are making a difference in your community. It's time to get started with Sweet Talk. Hello, everyone. This is Jason Batalden, and this is Sweet Talk. And we have got a full house today. As always, Paul, good to see you.
Hello, Jason. How are you today?
Doing good. Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm
right?
Busy, super busy. But, busy means I have a job and I'm going to be having that job for a while because they can't get rid of me because there's projects going. That's the secret. You start a project, just wait. Don't finish it until the other project starts. And then keep going. And then those projects and they can't get rid of you.
They can't say, we'd sure like to find somebody new, but we just can't.
No.
I promise you, Paul, no one has ever said we sure would like to find someone new. We'd like to maybe clone you. We'd like maybe to, find your twin. But for the most part, we've never said that. Hey, we've got another.
Say that.
No, what's that?
Funny you should say that.
Why?
Because listeners don't know that I have a twin.
Oh, that's right. I knew you had a twin. I just forgot.
Yeah, he wouldn't be helpful at all.
That's all right. Hey, we've got another host on the show today, Mary Marshall. Hello, Mary.
Hi, how are you?
Hi,
guys?
Mary.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Mary, this isn't your first time on the podcast, though, is it?
No, it is. This is the first time I've been on one.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
We have not had you on before?
No.
So, part of the reason you're joining us today, other than we would love your company, is that you kind of connected us with today's guest. Is that correct?
Yeah. She was one of my teachers in high school, one of my ag teachers.
Right on. Right on.
Excellent.
So we're going to have to introduce the guest here real shortly, but Mary, thank you for joining us today. Those maybe don't know, Mary is a career path intern. Has been with us now a good solid full year, right, Mary? I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, just about the beginning of August, it'll be a year. So
very
wow.
Good. Right
on.
It
goes by so fast.
And Mary's instrumental in getting our podcast posted and published, and handles all of the marketing on the end of it, making sure it gets to all the platforms it needs to get to. But this is a new task for Mary. She's on the front end of this now, so we're glad to have her on and excited for that. But to introduce our guest, Paul, I got to say the official. And the official is welcome.
Welcome.
And that everyone knows when we say welcome, the timer starts. And Jennifer Cummins, ag teacher at Filer High School, welcome to Sweet Talk.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Hey, give us a quick rundown, Jennifer. Just kind of a little short, maybe history about you, and kind of just what an ag teacher is. Maybe not everyone is familiar with ag teacher. Paul for sure isn't.
I am not. I'm from the East Coast. We don't have them.
I'm sure there's a little bit there, but I've been an ag teacher I'm going to be starting my 20th year as an ag teacher. So for a while, and my fourth year, I just completed my fourth year at Filer High School. Moved here 4 years ago. Mary was one of my first students when I got to Filer High School. So it's fun to connect with her again. I teach a variety of classes from zoology and animal science and biology to plant science and horticulture, vet science and floral design and advanced floral design, mix in leadership and student projects. So it keeps us busy all year round.
So that I got to tell you right off the top of the conversation here, an ag teacher must be able to wear many different hats, right?
Yeah.
Many different facets, or what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe, but just many different skills fall under that category.
Yeah, it's pretty wide. I think I teach a total of about 15 different subjects. So
Wow.
sometimes some semesters are a lot heavier than the others where I don't have any of the same classes. But with the program Floral Design, it's kind of getting a little bit more popular. So I have more classes of those than I have in the past.
So are the ag classes electives or are they requirements?
They are electives and also can count as science graduation requirements, since a lot of the animal science and plant science coincide with what's taught in biology and physical science and things like that. So most of the classes that I teach in animal science and plant science are graduation count as graduation requirements for science.
So Mary, you took ag classes. Why did you take the ag classes?
Well, so I grew up on a farm and kind of followed in my brother's footsteps, and it's just very interesting. So I started out with just like the basic ag classes, and then moved up. I did horticulture and stuff, and then when Mrs. Cummins came, that was the first they offered floral design. So me and a couple of my friends were like, let's try out this class, and we had never had a class from Mrs. Cummins before, so we were looking really forward to it.
Okay. So go ahead, Jason.
Well, no, so this floral design, and that's kind of one of the things that we wanted to talk about a little bit because from what I could gather in our little pre-conversation, and what you mentioned as well, floral design is a very popular class in Filer. Is that correct?
It started out with only a few kids. I think I only had 6 in the class that Mary Kate was in. And then now, I think this last year, I taught 80 students in florals.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what's the appeal? Talk to us a little bit about the class.
I think it's just being able to create something that people enjoy. And just like the hands-on part of it is always something that the kids want to do and be part of. Plus, you're doing flowers. Granted, like 95% of the class is probably girls, but they have a good time and they learn a skill that they can use and they really enjoy it.
So can you help me out just a little bit? Because I mean, I understand the words floral and I understand the words design. And I have this idea in my brain. I mean, have bought flowers from a flower shop before for many different reasons, and not all of which because I do something dumb and have to ask forgiveness from my wife for. But so talk to me about that, the art of floral design or the business, or educate me a little bit on what that means, floral design.
Floral design, well, I teach everything from like the color wheel and what colors go together to the history of floral design, where it came from, and how it is today and how it came to be today. And then we teach everything from the principles of design, like line and balance and focal points and things like that, to arranging the flowers and doing a lot of hands-on designing. We try to do at least 2 designs every month for the students to do, and it kind of keeps them busy and applying those skills that we learn. So
very cool. So Mary, I guess my question is, you thought it was interesting to take the class. You took the class. I'm assuming you very much liked the class. What did you come away, if you don't mind, just share a little bit about that floral design class and your experience in it.
Well, I would say out of all the classes I took in high school, I actually learned a lot. Like a lot I don't remember, but just like going around and I see arrangements, so I'm like, I know like why they place that flower there and like things like that. And the types of flowers, like before, I knew what a rose was or like a tulip, but now I know, like I can identify flowers and even foliage a lot better. And it's just the designing and the crafting helps like with everyday things, I'm like, oh, I want to go like make a bouquet for my mom. So I go out in my yard and like pick some flowers, and I can actually put together a pretty decent arrangement for her. So.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Very cool.
We try to like bring in the business side of it too, so the kids understand what is going on for the business side of it, as far as like estimating costs of retail costs to what we pay as a wholesale cost. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Take your time. We're okay. This is this is how this rolls. Okay.
Our final project in the class was like, we literally designed like our wedding, like basically our flowers, and we had to do all the costs for that. And just, it kind of blew my mind, like the different prices of flowers. And you have to think about how long these flowers are going to last. And like, if you want certain flowers, like that aren't domestic or aren't grown here, like just different things like that.
Oh, cool. Wow. You know, I've never thought of that before. You know, I'm a guy. You go in, you go, flowers. They look pretty. I'll get those. Maybe I'm stereotyping there, but
maybe. But I'm with you on it. I'm with you there.
But so you have this class and you teach the floral design or floral arrangement, but also a business prospect. Now, if from what I gather, you kind of move forward on this business aspect of what you do. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, as you can imagine, the floral design class can get expensive to run because we're using product that is perishable all throughout the year. So we had to come up with a way, and I've done it in the past at my previous school, and I got the ideas from previous ag teachers about doing some sort of like subscription where the community can like sign up to support the program by signing up for monthly subscriptions to our flower arrangements. So we set it up that way and send out these flyers and subscriptions, and people turn them back in. And I think we ended up with around 60 subscriptions this year, which pretty much funded our whole floral program.
That's nice. So if I'm understanding you, what you're saying is you provide this floral subscription. So that means that the students are designing, floral arrangements, and then the community benefits from these floral arrangements. So the students are actually creating arrangements that are being shared or given to the subscribers. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yeah. They do the arrangements for them. They actually sell the subscriptions, and then and they help with the deliveries too. So it's kind of
wow. That's very cool. That's kind of nice, because then they're actually building or creating something that they're going to share.
They love delivering them. They love delivering them.
Well, delivering was one of my favorite parts. Just like some of my teachers, the smile on their face, like, was just incredible. They loved it.
I would have to say that might be one of the funner jobs in the world, to deliver people flowers. I guess I'm assuming that it would be hard pressed to find someone who's mad when they got a bouquet or an flower arrangement. I'm assuming.
I always get comments that brighten my day. They always.
There you go. There you go.
Well, that's neat.
I want to broaden the conversation just a little bit and kind of bring back to the ag. I'm a Wyoming boy. I grew up in Wyoming. We had an ag program in my high school. I didn't take any of the ag classes. I didn't grow up in a ranch or a farm, but very much aware of them. But ag programs are they as? I guess my question is, how many ag programs would we expect to find in the state of Idaho, or are they pretty localized to the more agricultural areas of the state?
Well, no, I think the number is 93 ag programs at the different high schools, and even some of the middle schools now have ag programs too. So it's definitely pretty much widespread. I think there's very few school districts that don't have a program that has at least one ag
program. What kind of got you started in wanting to be an ag teacher 20 years ago?
Yeah, 20 years ago. Well, in high school, I was also taking ag classes in an FFA. So that was I always wanted to gear my career towards agriculture. I had a great experience with that, and I followed kind of my family and brothers as they went through the ag program and got involved with it. And then when I went to school, I was actually planning to go into an animal science or ag business career field. And then as I kind of took classes and I started helping out at the college with some of the FFA contests and things that they put on, I got involved with doing that, and I decided I really liked it. So I changed my major to ag education, and here I am 20 years later.
And you love it. And you love
it. I do. I love it. I think that in this career, you have to. It takes, it's not just the 8 to 3 teacher job. It's all year long, long weekends. Yeah. Mary she's been on a lot of that stuff.
Right. But I guess what I'm sensing, at least, is that the nice thing about, or maybe the unique thing, is about ag programs, and I guess I'm just going to speak kind of from what you shared, is that it allows students in those programs to get an exposure to a lot of different areas, right? Yeah. And Mary, it sounds like a little bit like kind of your experience in high school, that you got exposure to a few different things.
Yeah, right. I got exposed to a lot of different things. Like I competed in a ton of different competitions, and I learned like a lot.
Lots, like I'm just assuming, like confidence and preparing projects and the tasks that are, and then being able to present. I mean, I imagine that's part of it too.
Yeah, tons of life skills that at the time I didn't realize I would need, or that I was learning, but are like super beneficial, and just different things, making friendships, competition and stuff, just helping prepare me.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
So you mentioned competition. So there's competitions?
Yeah, the ag programs have, we have career development events, basically is what we call all of our different competitions. So we have teams from anything from vet science, where you learn about different breeds of animals and handling animals, and to meat science and agriculture mechanics. Mary, what are some of the teams you were on?
I did food science, dairy judging, dairy foods, floral design, horse judging, livestock judging, dairy foods, forestry.
Forestry was fun, right?
Yeah, forestry was really fun.
Okay, whoa. That both of you kind of smiled during that one. So what makes forestry the fun one out of all of those?
I think it's just like being out in the woods and, teaching these kids skills that they've never done before. I think that was the first year I ever coached a forestry team. So it was kind of interesting. I was learning as they were learning. And so it was a good experience, I think. And now it's one of my favorite ones to.
What's a forestry team?
Do you guys here's me ignorant. I just got done cutting down some trees in my yard. Should I called you, Mary, instead of paid the guy to, an exorbitant amount of money to do that, or what?
Probably not. I could have helped you, but if I practice up, I could probably tell you just the kind of tree, like.
Right on.
I only did forestry for 3 days though, so I'm not.
Yes.
While it was standing without having to get a tape measure, I could have told you how tall it was, their circumference, and that type of thing. Very
cool.
Yeah.
I guess from my perspective, and here in Eastern Idaho, the one thing I moved here 26 years ago. Someone told me, everyone can tell you what they want about the economy of Southeast Idaho, but and this was the example, so goes potatoes, so goes the economy. Meaning that, the economy is still very dependent upon and benefits from the agriculture business. So, but, I've known some people, had some great discussions. Just the science of growing food, the science of is a field that has been
my understanding, exponentially growing in the last 2, 3, 4 decades. I'm assuming, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, totally. I think agriculture and sciences is something that we're going to need so many more people to go into. We got to supply the world with food, and the world's growing, and so we're trying to recruit students that may not have a farming background or agriculture background, because we need to grow our programs. We need to let those kids know that those jobs are there, and training is available. So,
and there's a need. There's a need, right?
Big
Go
need.
ahead.
Well, years ago, I had worked with the University of Idaho on a project on a potato class. So this was a class that had many segments of it on between planting, irrigation, seeds, genetic modification. And I was filming the video portions of the lectures, and we're talking, I must have filmed, 40 hours of lectures for just potato course. For the University of Idaho. I can just imagine that's just one crop in Idaho, and there are so many more.
Yeah.
So I guess what the exciting thing and why I'm glad you're on the show, not only to hear just about your work and what you're doing at Filer and with the floral design program, but I think just to be able to touch on that. Part of our role here at Continuing Education Workforce Training is to encourage and inspire people to maybe look out and look for careers in different ways. And we love the college route. No problem with the college route. But on the flip side too, that doesn't mean that's the only route to learn. And so, and it also sounds like, and from what I'm gathering, is continuing education in the field of agriculture is almost necessary, if not absolutely necessary for today's farmer or ag business, period.
Definitely. I mean, my teaching partner, Mr. Wolf, he gets calls all the time from businesses, community people that are saying, hey, do you have any students that can do this for us, or don't have a summer job yet? Because the need is there, and it's definitely something that we're going to have a need for a very long time. So
yeah, right. And I think it's and I agree. I think it's a need that maybe I would say hasn't been ignored, but maybe has been a little bit isolated. And I think maybe one of the messages that I'm understanding from my limited knowledge is you don't need to be the son or a daughter of a farmer to work in the ag business. And there's a lot of room in there. If you are interested in a great career, learning something new every day, there's an opportunity for you in agriculture.
Yep, there's such a wide range of what you can do in agriculture. You don't have to be a farm kid to be involved.
So Jennifer, on the side, do you have a farm? Are you farming now in Filer, or?
We run a small herd of boar goats.
Right on.
So yeah, that's what we do on the side.
All right. So you had all your baby goats. Oops.
Yep.
And now you're just trying to make sure that they don't climb and eat everything they're not supposed to eat. Is that what? I mean, I don't.
Most of them are sold, but yeah.
Yeah, that's my understanding of goats. Is they're real great when they're cute, but you spend the rest of the time just trying to keep them where they're supposed to and keep them from eating what they're not. Is that a little too general?
Good fences is always important.
That's good fences. Very good. Hey, well, that was our timer. It hopped off, and I want to say thank you, Jennifer, for being on the show. Mary, I want to say thank you. You're going to have to start co-hosting more often now. I just want you to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. All right. And should we, you know what, if I can't get the phone number right, or Mary bails it out, then I might lose my job. So maybe, but we'll give it a shot here. First of all, we just want to remind our audience that if you have any other questions, Jennifer, if someone wants to get a hold of you and maybe talk to you about the floral design class that you're doing, maybe wants to subscribe to Sunshine Flowers, or has any other questions, how would you be willing to have a chat with them?
Oh yeah, definitely. My phone number is on the Filer High School webpage, as well as my email address. You can click on the link there and get a hold of me either way.
Very good. And Jennifer, you'll send us at least your email address. We can,
Yes.
if you're okay, we'll put it in the description. Very good. Very good. So with that being said, if you want to get a hold of us here at Continuing Education Workforce Training, or as we love to call it, SWEET, you can call us at 208-282-3372. I did it. Mary, I got it. I got the phone number. Or you can email us at cetrain.isu.edu, or actually be cetrain@isu.edu. You can email us there, or check out our website at cetrain@isu.edu. There you go. And if you haven't figured all that out, or if I said it wrong or incorrect, Mary, when you post this, you'll make sure all those addresses are and phone numbers are in the right places, because that's Mary does a great job of covering up for my mistakes. So she does. I'm just saying. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for being on the show today.
Yes. Thank you both for being on the show. Really appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time.